So maybe sooner than that. Probably 10 o'clock. So they had to move the computer where they were putting in the scoring, updating the bracket and all of that. So not sure if that's what's causing a little bit of this delay. Well, it just got entered. After a valiant comeback effort, Chris Austin gets a really rough break, and Mike Frantz does what Mike Frantz has done so many times, and that is make some gut check shots in tough situations and take down the match. Nice job. Got a trash can over there or something? All right, Ray, are you up now? Sounds good. Well, he didn't send you over for anything but whistling Dixie. I tell you what, we could do worse. All right, let me update the scoreboard. We are going to be bringing into the broadcast booth Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all times, Nick Varner. Now, we don't have any kind of monitoring going, so we usually leave one ear off. That way we can hear each other. So let me put...
Once in a while.
All right. Welcome, Nick Varner. How you doing today? You're not able to hear from there, so we leave one off the ear. You just hear me. We can talk back and forth, so you're not going to hear that. Yeah, that's what we typically do. All right, let me check your volumes there. Say something to us.
Hello, everybody.
All right. All right, the next match here is Mike Frantz versus Ray Shultz. Owensboro on Owensboro action. It doesn't get much better than this, does it?
No, this looks like the Owensboro City Championship.
It kind of does, doesn't it? So another thing that we have here is we like to talk to our various, the people who come in and talk to different players. What was that? Oh, you're right back up. Yep. All right. We've got a little bit of a delay here. We've got Mike Frantz, but luckily we've got some time to kill so we can do some talking. Mike Frantz is going to get himself a little bit of a break after that gut-wrenching match. Let's see. Chuck Austin's asking, is this for the hot seat? Yes, it is.
Hi, Chuck Austin.
All right, there we go. Let's see. We'll go ahead and put that up. You can see Ray Shultz warming up. Obviously, Mike Frantz is warmed up. So, yeah, you know all these players pretty well, don't you?
Somebody said I'm low and echoing.
You're low. All right. Say something.
Yeah, hello, pool fans. How's everybody doing out there?
All right, I'm going to make an adjustment to your. This is Crazy Bob, and I'm a lot louder than most, so let me make this little adjustment here. Okay. All right, let's try that.
Yeah, hello, everybody. Getting ready for this Ray Shultz, Mike Frantz match. It should be a great match.
Yeah, we've been doing these for about a year and a half now, and just different tournaments. We try to run it. We try to bring live streaming out to everybody. Let's see. I'll bring. So, yeah, this is going to be the actual live match. This is about a 20-second delay, and I usually pause it. So,
Okay.
Boyer says he'll take 50 on France. Well, there you go. So, yeah, on Cue Billiards, we started an account with you guys, what was it, about 2013 or something like that, maybe 2014.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got our first, I got my first jump break cue after my first tournament coming in second. Went to Custom Rec and bought myself a Nick Varner jump break. So that's the kind of the beginning of, that was about 6.5 years ago. Who would know I'd have you in the broadcast booth?
Well, how'd you like that cue?
Oh, I loved it. But one thing that I should say is that you guys have made a lot of recent improvements on the jump break cues. Really, the adding the phenolic ferrules was a real big improvement.
Yeah, they get better and better.
That's great. I know that you go through a lot of effort to sort and pick those out. So.
Yeah, we got a couple of new ones. We got one with a rubber grip, and it's really been popular. In fact, Chuck Austin, he bought. I had one left. They sold really quick, and I was out, and I had the one I was breaking with, and a week or two ago, he took it off my hands. He said he needed a new jump brake, so he bought it. The one last one with the rubber handle. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, for some of these tournaments, we've also been raffling off Varner cues, so that or giving them away as well, I guess for people who enter the tournament, they were entered into a drawing to get a Nick Varner cues as well. So it's one of the nice things about being in the tri-state area. We do have the opportunity to have people like yourself. I mean, there's Sky Woodward's in the area. Just a lot of history in this area for pool.
Yeah, not to mention Buddy Hall.
Not to mention Buddy Hall, absolutely. So, and speaking of which, Ray Shultz up here at the table right now.
Well, here's somebody that says Tanya has one of my sticks from over 20 years and still uses it today. Holding up pretty good, huh?
I think that's not too bad. I tell you what, if I hold up another 20 years, it'll be amazing. So
that slogan I've had has been pretty popular. I say, get a Nick Varner before one gets you.
There you go. There you go. Let's see. Nick says, you need to teach Bud Vaught how to use one of them jump cues. Don't know if you know Bud Vaught. He's up from the Grayville area.
Yeah.
So on cues
I'm
now.
pretty good friends with Bud, and
I know he sells a lot of different.
He sells my cues, and.
Well, I have to say, before we get to announcing the match, it's just a really big honor to have you in here and doing this. So we really appreciate it, and it's been a great resource for us all this time.
Hi, Chuck Austin. Thanks for the compliment, and I hope you're enjoying this tournament.
One interesting memory that I have from seeing you came to the River City Eagles a couple of years ago, and a guy kept coming up and putting quarters on the table during the middle of your exhibition. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was absolutely one of my favorite moments in my, pool history. That guy got up there, broke and ran at 9-ball. I couldn't believe it. I've never seen him before or since.
Well, I haven't seen him since, but I did go back to the Eagles not too long ago when Chuck Austin brought in Florian Venom.
Oh,
the
yeah,
trick
okay.
shot player, and I was doing an exhibition for Custom Rec, and then he was there that evening, so I went over to watch him before I went home, and anyway, I was just standing at the back of the crowd, and he says, "Who's the best player in there?" So some of them pointed toward me, and he looked back there, and I'd met him in New York last year I did some commentary for Darren Appleton and his Whirlpool Series in New York City at
I heard some of that.
Billiards, and I had met him there, and he started laughing when he seen me back there, and he said, well, how about who's the second best player?
Well, there you go. Well, it looks like Razor Ray gets the flip. It's going ahead and doing the racking. So I've a number of times we've come down there on Saturdays and see you both and you and Ray both in the shop there. For those of you who don't know, Nick Varner does have a store in Owensboro. So you can go down there and get anything that you need. If he doesn't have it, you don't need it. All the pool accessories you could want or need. Locally, Custom Rec carries a lot of his inventory. And here we go. We've got Razor Ray breaking.
Okay, and as you so often see, he made a couple, but the first ball he made was that ball right behind that head ball in that upper side pocket, and that's the ball you really like to make in this A ball, because look how nice this rack is opened up here. A lot of times that happens when you make one of those two balls behind the head ball. A lot of times you get a nice layout.
And he really kept that cue ball pretty centralized in the middle of the table, which leaves a lot of options open, right?
Well, Ray has a great 8-ball break, and I guess it's him playing for the hot seat pretty well, a testimonial for that.
Absolutely. I think Jason McPherson struggled a little bit with his 8-ball break, and I think that might have been the difference.
Yeah, some people know the name of my place by Rack and Cue in Owensboro, and it's we used to have a pool room there years ago and a retail store in the back, and that's where my store is. And we sell a little bit of everything: cues, cases, accessories, and tables, and pool
cloth cases, everything.
And we pretty well got a full-service store. Okay, now Ray.
All right, so he went off the 4-ball first.
Stripes, and a lot of times what you'll see in this 8-ball now is what Ray may do here is sometime they try to get the balls on one end of the table, because one of the tough things to do in 8-ball is when you move from one half of the table to the other, it's like you got two squares on the table that the side pockets separate, and when you come down table, that's I don't think he's going to be happy with that.
Yeah, that was that. He wanted to get past that 5, didn't he?
He didn't want to hit that 5. I think he was trying to come up for the 11 or 9, and he's looking at that 11-10. Boy, that's a hard shot there. But Ray's a great shot maker, but boy, he's found himself in a not quite the spot he was looking for there, and.
I suppose the benefit is if he hits at the right speed, the 10-ball can block the hole for that 4-ball if he doesn't actually get there. He just might drain it center pocket and make it work out just fine, though. I think he'd take that.
That was fabulous. That was an outstanding shot there.
Well, just because he was sitting over there at the table with you guys didn't mean he got cold, did he?
No, he sure didn't look cold on that shot.
Absolutely not. All right.
Well, that was a great recovery by Ray, and I guess Mike Frantz is giving the 8-ball here. So I think, are they playing alternate break here?
Yeah, this is a race to 5 alternate break, BCA rules. And Mike Frantz didn't get to do much in that, but Razor Ray showed exactly why. He had his spot locked up waiting for him. Terry Kurt says Ray only makes them when he wants to. Well, that's a good thing.
Well, I think he wants to make them most of the time.
Someone was asking us a little bit earlier about, Reedus May was asking about pork chop. So I guess I've got to do my due diligence and ask you about pork chop.
Well, that guy can talk, I tell you that. Okay. looked like he took a little speed off that. He didn't hit him very hard.
No, and there's a number of clusters here, aren't there?
And he comes up dry on the break, which so now Ray's got to make the choice. Stripes or solids, and a lot of people in 8-ball, they just shoot the easiest ball that comes into their mind. But when you take time in this game, usually for you pick your group, and then when you pick your group, you come up with a plan for the whole rack, if you can, if the balls are all open. And a lot of times you work that plan from, he's going to pick stripes here, so he's got these two evident. Maybe this combination's dead here for the side. Maybe one of these balls goes in the side.
Yeah,
here.
that's what I'm seeing too, right there. Change the angle for you.
That cluster there is one of his biggest problems of this rack. Those two balls that are together, they're about
right there in the center.
But they may not go because he's looking toward maybe cutting that 14 in that upper side. Yeah,
he's putting on the thinking cap
a little
little bit.
Apprehensive here.
All right, yeah, he's having to put the thinking cap on and see a little bit.
Well, he's got a pretty easy shot on the 14. Now, he may not like, I don't know if he can avoid those two balls, the 10 and the 8 there. He'd like to avoid those if he can. Well, he hit it very thin, so he come back up table, and he's actually came out with good position on the 13, and now he has to make a decision what to do with these two balls. I wouldn't, usually you like to get to those trouble balls and 8-ball as soon as possible.
As soon as possible, right? Yeah, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, when I watched that, when I did the commentary in New York for Darren at Appleton's Whirlpool Series, boy, when they had a problem, boy, they went after, if not the first shot, the second shot. They didn't.
Absolutely.
They didn't wait for. I was talking to Larry Schwartz up in Chicago this past week, and he does some commentary, and he also writes an article for Billiards Digest, and Ray decided to go back down table for this stripe here, and
he wants to get kind of in this area to get this cluster back that way, right?
Well, the problem is I'm not sure these balls go in any pocket. Maybe the 11 goes in the pocket by the 12 in this, on the screen.
I was wondering
now,
if it came
in that
by
lower corner pocket, right corner pocket, but he may have to get over to that right side pocket and play a combination, and then he has to turn the 10 ball a little loose doing that, so you hate to have to do that, but Larry Schwartz said, I call them soldiers, like all these stripes.
Absolutely.
And the more soldiers you remove.
In fact, I think we bought the 8-ball Bible, and it talks about soldiers the same way.
Yeah, and Larry said that the more you remove, if you don't get out all the way, you usually make it a lot easier for your opponent. And Ray's concerned here. He may come up table. Try to get around the side pocket would be a pretty good spot to play the 10 onto the 11 and play it in this lower side pocket. And he might even go rail first. That helps. This helps get it up there with the speed by going rail first.
These tables are playing pretty fast. That's exactly what he does.
He's trying to go all the way around and
to get 11 on the other side.
Now he's going to have to come with a great shot again. That 11's going to have to go in the same pocket he just played the last ball in, and once again, this is a tough shot.
Well, he got the. Oh, does that ball go off the 1 into the side?
That's what he's looking at. Yeah, he's looking to see, because
we got Corey Grant over here asking, is that Nick Varner? Well, I guess while he's thinking about this, I'll go ahead and say something. Yes, this is Nick Varner. This is Hall of Famer Nick Varner, 9-time world champion Nick Varner here on the On-Cue Broadcast Network with Crazy Bob. All right, now he's going to go. Okay, he's calling this into the top right-hand corner on your screen.
I think he's playing that 10 ball off that 1. Oh, wow, that's pretty creative there.
Well, I
just
saw
a
him.
fantastic shot there.
I saw him pointing, though.
Combination off that 1 for that 10 ball on the side. Just a fantastic shot.
Well, I think he was pointing at the other ball, the carom for the 11 ball into the top corner. So Mike Frantz is back
I
up.
See. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think he had a decision to make.
Yeah.
Since he had to call the ball, he couldn't call both. And they were both close. Well, one of them wasn't that close. It went in. But he chose wrong. And that puts Mike Frantz in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, that's one thing about this 8 ball. When you don't get out, you make it so much easier for your opponent to run out.
Yeah, just like you said, the soldier aspect of it, and a lot of people don't realize that. They try to get all the easy balls off the table, leave their treble balls, and you know what? For a player who can play even my level, that makes it just easy on him.
He's got a lot of pattern play he can do here. A lot of choices. He's keeping it pretty simple, which makes a lot of sense. And he saved a 5 ball, which is close to the 8. So
he's minimizing cue ball movement.
Yeah. So he's, it's always nice you like to end up stop. Yeah, it's a little easy, and he's cutting the 5 a little, so he has to be careful here.
Yeah, he actually got a little bit short. He doesn't have the right angle.
He wanted to be over to the left, close to straight in, where all he had to do is stop his ball. Now he's got to deal with that stripe on the left there. So
you think he'll use that ball for a backstop?
Well, he can go between them, or he can try to hit it full. I like kind of going between them, play the 8 in the upper corner pocket or the side, but. He might decide to go in and use a 12 to stop and hope he ends up close to straight in. But he could end up with a cut shot, quite a bit of cut shots. You always try to err on the side of being full like he is on this 5 ball, so you don't, when you start cutting them, they get a lot harder to make.
And he's going to really be happy with that result. Straight in on the 8 ball into the side pocket. All right, we'll update the scoreboard. Mike Frantz gets the second game to tie it up. What we've got here is a battle. Joined here, Nick Varner, here in the AugQ broadcast booth. This is Crazy Bob. This is the Tri-State 8-Ball Championship here at O'Brien Sports Bar and Grill. Brought to you by Bud's Harley Davidson, Bob's Lounge, O'Brien's, of course, and Custom Recreation. We'd like to thank Nick Varner for coming in here, doing a little announcing.
Thank you.
Caught you on the way back from the bathroom, so that was fortunate. But definitely thank you for coming in here. Let's see. So it's alternating break, short races, right? So the alternating break actually gives everybody an opportunity to play. Do you prefer alternating races or alternating break or winter break?
Yeah, probably alternate the break because at least, you're going to get a shoot somewhere in the winter break. I played Scott Kiddo about 30, 40 years ago, and I lost the lag, and Scott runs 6 and out. I never even got a shoot.
Yes. Well,
my dad said that I dogged the lag. Or the flip.
There you go. That's you gotta get the flip right.
Well, this looks like
all right, so that takes care of a trouble ball because it was off of the break, so he's able to go ahead and take stripes and have a pretty open table. This is going to benefit Ray.
Yeah, I like going down table a little bit here, and this 10, almost any ball here, this rack you could use for a key ball, but I like getting rid of that 14 so you open up the pocket for the 8.
Okay, for those who don't know out there, could you describe the concept of a key ball?
Yeah, the key ball is the one that you save to make it easy to play position on the 8.
Okay.
Ideally, you wouldn't mind playing the key ball where you don't have to move the cue ball very far for position. The further you have to move the cue ball for position, the
tougher it gets.
The bigger the risk as far as you may get out of line.
A smaller degree of error or something to that effect, yes.
But I think he's fallen a little bit on the wrong side of this 10. He may draw in, have to hit this stripe in the middle here. And
he power draws that. And he gets really good shape for that.
Ray's got a strong stroke, and how about this position here? What's that old saying they say in poker? I'll play these.
Yeah, I'll play those. Absolutely, absolutely.
But it's still, he's got to be a little careful here because that one ball is blocking that one hole, so he may have to play both balls in the same pocket. No, he stopped for the side. Nicely done.
I tell you what, that precision there for that draw was really nice. I've heard people say draw for the show, or follow for the go. I don't know. I can't remember it now. Follow for the dough, draw for the show. But right there, he's drawing for the show, for the dough.
Yeah, that was a nice out Ray made there. He made a nice draw shot, and then nice speed control setting up. He didn't want to have to go down and table and get tangled up with those balls, and he drew in and out because he was almost straight in for a really easy shot on the 8 ball. So he pulls into the lead 2-1, and now Mike Frantz, he's only broke once so far, but he came up dry, and he didn't hit him real hard. He just hit the one square. Let's see if he hits him a little harder, if he sticks with the same break, or and he's breaking from almost the center of the table, a little to the left, and then off the end rail.
All right, Ray Shultz up 2-1. This is the 4th rack, and he is going to have a problem with the cue ball going into the side pocket. Corey Grant was asking who's still left in the tournament. Obviously, we've got Mike Frantz and Ray Shultz. That's the hot seat match that you're watching now. In the losers bracket, you've got, Chris Austin, Paul Age, Jason McPherson, and Thomas Stevenson. So that's your remaining players there.
Well, the Owensboro players making a great showing in this tournament.
Well, I've always kind of said there must be something in the water down there. All the Owensboro players come up there and come up here and do really well, for sure. And do you think that has anything to do with the history of the Owensboro area, yourself included?
Well, you know, that's what one of the sports writers, that's what he said from Chicago. He said, what's in the water down there with all the NASCAR drivers and the basketball players and the NFL players?
Maybe it's just we got nothing else to do but play pool, basketball, drive cars, have some fun down here, you know? So you're originally from Tell City, right? So Tell City high school graduate?
No, actually, I was raised in southern Indiana, more toward Grandview and Lamar.
Okay.
I was raised in that area, and then I went to high school in Tell City.
We played last year in the Spencer County League out of Grandview for a little while, so we went down there and played in the VNEA League down there, and it was a lot of fun. I've heard that you cut your teeth when you were young in Grandview somewhere.
Yeah, I sure did.
Let's put it this way, I read your website. NickVarner.com, by the way.
Now, Ray's got a interesting situation here. He's got a tough ball, that 9 ball. He's got great position here, but that 9 ball is in a tricky situation.
He might go for it now.
You know,
nope.
He's got to quite a bit, but that's certainly what you mentioned there. That certainly could be.
Look at that speed control.
Yeah, it was good speed
wow.
control there. He made the 9 a lot easier. He's got a lot of options here, but I look for him just to draw back a little bit and take the longer shot.
And leave that angle right there.
Because if he draws in and out, he might end up snookering himself. No, he's drawing in and out.
Well, since he's pretty confident in that angle, I think he's not going to want any more than what he's got. He's got the right shot.
Yeah, basically all he's got to do is make this, or he can draw up for the side.
Yep. And that's what he does. Really just depending on what shot you're more comfortable with, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in that case, you're right, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, Ray wouldn't like that 2-2, but yeah, Mike Frantz scratched and on his second break, and he's dug a pretty deep hole for himself here.
If anybody can hang in there, it's definitely Mike Frantz, but Ray's playing great right now.
Mike's not going to give up. You can bet on that. He's a hard-nosed competitor, and he's going to be trying until the last ball's made.
Both of these guys are really, but definitely Ray jumped up to a 3-1 lead, and really a lot of it is the story of the break, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Ray's made balls both times, and Mike Frantz has scratched and not made any, so so the score, that's what has a lot to do with the score here. And Ray's...
Man, he's crushing him, and he parked that ball.
He parked that cue ball, and...
but nothing goes.
Wow, he came up dry. That's the only thing that's bad about that break. When you hit them like that and spread them all over the table, it makes it easy for the incoming player. It makes his work a lot easier.
Yeah, the way I play, I'd be better off just making it like a one-pocket break or something, because at least I get a chance to shoot again.
Yeah, they're okay.
Do you know Chris Austin?
I like the bigger ones better. But Chris Austin just asked me if I like these bar tables, and I like the bigger ones better.
Absolutely. There's not a lot. Are there a lot of 9-foots available in the Owensboro area?
Not much anymore. We've been talking about that for a couple of years. So one thing, at one time we had 31 9-foot tables in Owensboro.
My gosh.
Today there's only one. It's at Rockies on 9th Street. And
speaking of Rockies, OnQ has their BCA Pool League out of Rockies on Thursday nights, don't they? I think Ray was...
in fact, I substituted for Ray this week. First time I ever played in the BCA
really?
league, yeah.
Well, that's something we have in common. We both substituted for a team in the BCA. That's about it.
I heard that. Yeah, Chris Austin
we both
just
definitely
telling me that a really good player from Cleveland passed away not too long ago, JR. He was really a good player, too.
Yeah, and that's Chris Austin's originally from the Akron area. He's talking about playing with Niels Fyan and him up there at a tournament or something, and just breaking and running like it was something to do. All right, Mike's got a decent look on this rack.
What I like doing here, of course, he's got a lot of choices. I like to just, if you can, draw over to the right of the spot.
Yep.
And take the longer shot on the 14. He's going to spin around, which that's just as good.
Yeah, that was actually a very good.
And it cuts down the distance. He's a foot or two closer to the 14, which makes it a much better shot. So, good job by Mike there, and then
gave himself perfect angle to come back down for this 9, right? With the little inside.
Yeah, because he just wants to fall pretty full on the 9. He can basically stop his ball, draw back. I like maybe just stopping and playing the 8 in the corner, but he may like drawing it back and playing it in the side. We'll see what he likes.
He went with the draw route. And I think that's going to take him up to his second win.
Yeah, he's only behind now. He won a much-needed game to stay, let Ray know he's still in the match here.
What we've got is a battle, folks.
So it's 2-3, and now Mike, we'll see if he's able to come up with a better break this time. I know he has to be disappointed with those first two, but he can tie this match up here if he can break and run out.
It's absolutely a barn burner, and this is how it should be. When you come down to the final match in the winner's bracket, you definitely want to have two top players battling it out, going toe-to-toe, and taking it as far as you could go. More pool for the money, right?
Okay, let's see what happens this time on the break. Mike Frantz, I think he's going to get one this time.
He got the 4 in the bottom left-hand corner pocket.
And, wow, I like the way these are laying. I think we got a good chance to see this match knotted up 3 games apiece. He don't have a very good shot on the solid, so I think
so he's almost certain.
I think his decision's going to be pretty easy here, stripes.
Yep.
And he'll probably try to draw into one of these balls, or he may go into both here.
All right. I would say Chrissy Perlowski wants to say hi, Nick. And you can tell him yourself. It's right here. He's reading it with us.
Hi, Chrissy. Hope you're doing great.
Terry Kurtz says stripes looking good. Oh, yes, they are. Jessica Dunlap says hello, Nick. We'll probably get a parade of hello, Nicks. I guess you get that all the time.
Good to hear from y'all.
Well, it's a great opportunity. Yonke likes to do a lot of different events, tournaments here in the tri-state area, actually. There's going to be another Benton event coming up soon. There's going to be a Banks event here on 9 foot. So you don't get a lot of 9 foot events going on these days.
No, the trend seems to be toward these smaller tables, and it looks like Mike, he's found himself elevated, jacked up over that 3 ball.
Yeah.
So let's see what he does with this 11. Oh, real nice, very nice.
I think he's going to be rewarded for that.
Mike made that look easy there. And
I know, I always struggle. My bridge just really likes to wobble in that kind of situation. He just really got it firm.
Now, he'd like to play the stripe by the side next, because then he's got, he might have stopped a little shorter than he wanted, because both the 9 and the 15 are great key balls, and he would have liked to just stopped here for the 9 and then drew back for the 15, and now because he stopped short, he's got to go a different way.
I would assume he's going to draw back, yes.
And
and he went a little far that time as well.
Yeah, he's going the wrong way. I think he might be able to spin this and stay up high enough for the 9 in that upper right-hand corner, but
you talking about inside English off the side rail, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he might be going too low. He's even looking at the 9.
Yeah.
And, boy, that's a missable shot there. That's not so simple. Nobody wants to play the 9 here. Okay, Mike Frantz, he's found himself where he's got to make a tough decision. Takes a little guts to shoot at this 9 here. A lot of players.
This is a gut check shot.
They go for the easier shot, and he's also looking like he could
go
brush
off the 6,
and he could end up in that corner pocket.
Ooh, that's a real gut check shot.
And that's the last thing you want to happen. So let's see what he comes up with here.
Yeah, he's undecided still at this point.
Here's a shot. He could hit a lot of. Well, no, he's looking at this. He can't get away from this. He keeps wanting to go back to this shot. And now. He finally came up where he wanted to on the last 2 shots. And
Yeah,
he'd
but
like,
now he would like the
like
other
to
way.
be going that
Exactly,
way.
yeah.
But that's the way pool is sometimes. You don't always get what you want.
That's what I call that the Mick Jagger principle from the Rolling Stones. You definitely can't always get what you want. Tanya Crawford says, great commentary. Well, I want to thank you there, Tanya, because I know that you are a longtime viewer, and you're used to great commentary on the On-Cue Broadcast Network. Well, bringing in Nick just takes it to another level.
I appreciate Tanya using, her and her husband using my cues. Thank you, Tanya.
Mike Crawford and Tanya Crawford. She's the Aussie boss. They're an international sensation with the Nick Varner cues. All right, that was a hell of an out. Let me adjust the scoreboard.
Okay, we're knotted up at 3 apiece. We got a race to 2 for the hot seat here.
Does it get any better than that?
No, this is a sweater's delight here.
All right. Here we go. Let's see. We've got one guy's cue or break is absolutely working. One little bit of a struggle. But now we got a tied up match. Let's see what Ray can do.
Oh, he's sure hitting it square.
Well, I will say this. I hope I didn't jinx him because, my gosh.
I tell you what, the last 2 times he's broke, he's come up dry, and Mike Frantz comes to the table with a chance to pull into the lead, and it's his break coming up at the end. Now he has to start out and make that crucial decision all 8-ball players have to make, stripes or solids. What do you like here?
Well, so I guess I want to see another angle for this ball here. I guess that goes into the side pocket. I'll tell you what, this is a fairly even choice. I mean, I don't have that much of a difference here. The 3-ball, I think, is probably the thing that takes it over the top and leads it towards stripes.
Yeah, I like stripes because, number one,
I had a 50-50 chance.
the solids, in my opinion, are a lot tougher. I like the stripes here. He's only got one really tough ball, and that's that ball next to that 3-ball up by the side on the right-hand side.
Which the 3-ball would have actually been a lot tougher than that ball.
And he's going to take care of that right now.
Like we said, tough balls first, right?
Yeah, a lot of times an 8-ball, that's a great strategy. And that is you go for the problem ball as soon as possible. And as you see, Mike didn't waste any time going after the trouble, because see here now, even though this is a tough angle here, he's pretty well, I'm not sure he can come off a rail. He may have to just draw back toward these 2 stripes here, but if he can fall straight in on that stripe on the right, then it makes the rest of this out pretty easy. He might be able to hit the end rail here. Well, that's pretty good there.
I think the 4-ball just nestled it right where he needed it, didn't it?
Yeah, he got a nice friendly bump off that 4. And he might even decide to play the 10 here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, baby.
The 10 balls could be a little bit of a tricky ball. I think I would go ahead and take that out. And the question here is, do you
draw back or do you,
or do you go down for the 9 or
I think he comes back.
13. He's got a lot. That's one thing about 8-ball that's so much different than 9-ball. You always have to choose which ball you play next. So you got to put on your thinking cap.
Absolutely.
In this game.
9-ball, more of a shooter's game, if you will. You know what ball you're going after next. It's just whether you play go or slow. Then in 8-ball, it's a lot of picking and choosing the actual puzzle out, right?
Yeah, in my opinion.
He's going with the other ball.
8-ball is just a great game, and just a great game because.
In fact, that's why I was talking to Sky Woodward at the Derby City, and he was saying 8-ball is his favorite game.
I don't understand. I guess he can make the 13 there. Boy, if he can't make the 13.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I guess he's okay. Wow, I think he's made a mistake here. If he can't shoot that 13 straight in, there's nothing easy here. That ball in the end rail, that's one thin cut, plus he has to let the cue ball fly. Maybe he can shoot this straight in.
I think he's swerving it.
Wow.
I think that's going to work.
Wow. That was a good shot there.
So that was just a baby masse kind of deal?
Mostly spin. I don't think he had to curve much.
Okay.
I think just, well, he curved it around there with spin. But it doesn't matter. That was a hell of a shot there. Now this...
he got a little funny there.
This here is no give me. That one's blocking, if he overcuts it a little, that one's blocking a little bit of that upper right pocket. So you got to stay down with this, and boy, what a good job. He really made a nice shot. He made it look easy, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's going to go in the side pocket. Center pocket he goes, and he goes from being down to jumping up to get to the hill first. Mike Frantz, 4. Ray Shultz, 3.
What a comeback. Mike Frantz looked like he was really in big trouble. He was down 3-1 with Ray breaking, and he finds himself on the hill first. A little hard to predict that one, huh?
Absolutely. I tell you what, that's why they play the game. If you got ahead, they would just end it there if it was not over. But I tell you what, you said it yourself. He's a battler. He's got heart. He's going to battle all the way to the end until the last ball's down. Well, the last ball's not down. And you know full well Ray Shultz has got just as much heart. So let's see what we come up with.
Yeah, well, right now, Ray's in a bad position. He's not at the table. And
it's the hardest place to be watching, isn't it?
Mike Frantz has struggled with the break, but if he makes a ball here, he can break and run out, and the match will be over. So I know Ray's going to sweat this breakout hard.
Absolutely. It's just hard to watch your opponent up at the table, and there's nothing you can do, right?
No. Wow, he hit it good.
Ooh, and nothing's going to go.
Wow. Came up dry on the break.
Sometimes you think the pool gods want this to go to the hill, don't you?
Well, I tell you, it looks like this table's got a little stingy.
Yeah.
These last few games, and Ray's got his choice here. He almost has to take. I would think he almost has to take the stripes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Otherwise, he had got that 3 ball is a tough ball to deal with.
Yeah.
The problem here is if he plays this,
he's got to come out from it.
You know, he may have to draw down table for his next ball, because even though he'd have an easy shot on that red stripe there for the corner, it's hard to get out.
Yeah.
And these balls, those 2 stripes don't look like they go in this lower right corner. Now he's looking at it. He wants to get rid of it, but I'm not so sure that's the right choice here.
You think leaving that just in case?
I think maybe drawing back, because, well, you just hit on a key point. As long as that red stripe is there, it's going to make it tough for Mike Frantz to run this rack.
That's right.
Because he's going to have to basically either move the red stripe out of the way by pocketing maybe the 4, or okay, now here's going to be the payoff shot probably right here. Getting position here is really tough. This is not easy. Wow, I don't know. That don't look too good to me.
And like you said, he opens up that 3 ball.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. If this ball goes in the corner, I don't know why he didn't shoot it easy and just fall straight in on this and play it in the corner. I didn't figure either one of these 2 balls went.
I mean, I don't think they do. I've been fooled by the perspective from the cameras before, but
yeah, well, more than once. That's
yeah. I've been fooled by my perspective on the table, you know.
I can certainly relate to that because, well, I guess it goes in the corner. That surprises me a little. Now, this is a big shot in this match here. Wow.
Well, we were just fooled, weren't we? That thing went, and I didn't see that at all.
Wow, he made a nice shot there. He didn't.
Oh,
You see how close they came to the 5 ball there?
Yep.
He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, he's going to come into stuff. I mean, he's got.
You don't want to make.
I thought he might look at this ball.
Now here he may have to come all the way down for this lower stripe. I think he's looking to see if he's got room to get by that ball and cut that in the corner.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He would take it if he had it. Because I don't like going into that 10 and breaking those, not having a result here that you necessarily like.
Oh wow! Look at this.
That's going to be a rough situation for him.
Boy, position here. He's.
What's he going to do with this ball to get back on the other side of that ball? Oh, 14 is going to be tough.
Boy, oh boy, this.
Held it.
I'm afraid.
13 is going to be tough.
He may have to bank that ball if he can't play both in the same pocket. I guess that's what he's trying. Draw back for the.
Draw back to break it out.
Yeah, I don't like breaking it out. I mean, he could hit. I guess he could. That might be the best shot. Draw into the black one and hope he gets a shot on it for the side of the corner. Well, it almost has to be the side. He could bank this ball.
Bank this one right now. Yeah, that's what he's
that's
looking.
what he's called. And this is
gut check.
Toughy here. Oh, he went long.
And he misses it wide.
He went long there. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what Mike shoots here. I can't tell if he's got enough room to make that 7 there.
May have the 7. A 4 ball looks like a possibility.
4 ball or 7 ball. He might not be able to. He might be forced to shoot it to 4 here, and he needs to make this, or Ray will be right back in the hunt. And that was nice.
There you go. He had a lot of grass to mow on that one, but he got it.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a blood test there, and he passed.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to be a great opportunity to get the final game of this match. He's got it open now, and he doesn't have a lot of trouble here.
Yeah. I'd rather be at the table. I'd rather be in Mike's position here. I'd let him raise it from here if I was at the table.
Yep, absolutely.
I tell you what, though, he's making it interesting, though.
That ball's a little.
I would have rather shot the 6 here, and it's a little thin now. And the 7's out of the question. It looks like what he could do here, though, is one option he has, he can play the 2 and then bounce off and play the 6 on the side.
And that's kind of what I was thinking, that would be obvious shape to leave for the 7 ball.
That's what you call the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
There you go.
Now, he wants to end up any place on this 7 except straight in.
Absolutely. And even if he does leave it pretty straight, he could probably work with it. We've seen him take the shots, and that's exactly what you say. He's giving himself just enough angle, come off of this rail, come back over for the 5.
Yeah, any place past the center of the table will be fine.
Doesn't want to freeze up on that ball necessarily, so he doesn't. It looks like he's going to be as happy with that as possible.
Yeah, he don't want it over. He can just bounce off the rail and shouldn't end up straight in on the 8 for that lower right pocket, and I think this match is over.
Ray Shultz goes ahead and concedes the match. This is the winner of the hot seat. That is Mike Frantz. Nice job and a comeback from behind victory.
That was a nice comeback.
Absolutely. Joined here in the broadcast booth, we've got Nick Farner, 9-time world champion. It's an absolute pleasure. I want to thank you very much for coming here and joining us. I didn't want to take you away from having your fun and having something to eat and drink here at O'Brien's, but by God, it was really an honor to have you here.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure to be here. It's great to see some longtime friends from the Evansville area, and then what dragged me over here is to watch these great Owensboro shooters.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. It looks like that they've got the inside track on getting the win here tonight, but I tell you what, if you've got still people, like you said, if the balls aren't down, there's still a chance. Who do we got left? And who's your guess? Obviously, Mike Frantz is now the favorite.
Well, let's see here. Well, Jason McPherson.
We got Jason McPherson, Chris Austin, Paul Page, and Ray Shultz.
Nick, do I got a chance to win this?
Looks like it's.
Do I got a chance to win?
Well, Chris Austin just asked me if he had a chance to win this. Chris, you got your hands full with all these Owensboro shooters left here. Jason McPherson, Ray Shultz, and you're going to have to go through the heart of the Owensboro.
It's like an all-star list, isn't it?
They all been over at your place. You giving them all the answers.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Nick again for coming in, man. It's
you.
been a pleasure. This is Crazy Bob with the On-Cue Broadcast Network, and we'll let Nick get back to his checking out the Owensboro players. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. You got to play Page.
I think he's from Cincinnati. Am I up right now?
You're up. All right.
Yeah.
Hit him good, buddy.
Okay, Nick. Yeah, check me out.
Awesome. Get your ass out of there.
I am.
I'm going to send that to Scott and Janet. Oh, right. There we go.
All right. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more where you can see it a little better. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I was one of the sponsors
those iPhones are the
tournament at
You
Breakers.
got a good picture of me, man.
Yeah, I worked for Evansville Chrysler Plymouth at that time. Oh, yeah, but I'm working with Gary at Lexus. Anyway, I'll let you guys go.
I do have to get a picture with you, if you don't mind.
Oh, no problem.
I'm going to fall down.